Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we will look at matrix multiplication. So matrix multiplication is quite difficult. We don't just take two matrices and multiply element by element. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So if you have two matrices, it's not always possible that you can multiply them. So if A has order m by n, it can only be multiplied by another matrix that has order n times p. So to determine whether or not a product, a multiplication, is possible, you write out the orders of the first matrix and the second matrix. These two numbers must be equal. In other words, the number of columns in the first matrix needs to equal the number of rows in the second matrix. Now, if the product is possible, if you have an m by n and an n by p, these two numbers tell you the size of the resulting matrix. So let's first have a go at looking at whether or not products are possible. So A is this first matrix here, B and V this vector. So we're going to first look at A times B. Let's say I wanted to multiply that. Well, A is a 2 by 2 matrix, B is a 3 by 2 matrix. So this product is not possible. On the other hand, A is a 2 by 2 matrix, V is 2 by 1. This product is possible because these two numbers are the same. If I were to multiply A by V, the resulting matrix would be 2 by 1. I got that just from these two numbers here. Let's look at BA. Well, B, as we said before, is a 3 by 2 matrix. A is a 2 by 2 matrix. Because these two numbers are the same, the product is possible. The resulting matrix will be 3 by 2. So just note here, AB was not possible, but BA was possible. And this highlights a very important point. Matrix multiplication is not commutative. If you change the order in which you multiply, not only might you get a different answer, the product may not even be possible. So for matrix multiplication, A times B doesn't equal B times A. On the other hand here, if I tried V times B, well, we know that V is a 2 by 1 matrix, B is a 3 by 2 matrix. Because these two numbers are not equal, that product would not be possible. All right, so if the product is possible, how exactly do we multiply? Let's go and have a look at that. So let's say I want to multiply this matrix and this vector. So the first matrix is 2 by 2, the vector is 2 by 1. Because these two numbers are equal, the product is possible. The resulting matrix will be 2 by 1. So I suggest you set up your resulting matrix. It will be 2 by 1. I'm going to find something that goes here and something that goes here. So to find what they are, we go across by down. We do the row of the first matrix by the column of the second matrix. So we go 3 times minus 1 plus negative 1 by 2. Another way to look at this is row 1 of the first matrix by column 1 of the second matrix gives you the entry in row 1, column 1. Row 1 by column 1 equals row 1, column 1. And what you're doing is multiplying corresponding elements and adding up these. So the entry that goes here in row 2, column 1, row 2 by column 1. 4 times negative 1, and then we always add the different elements. It'll be 2 times 2. So we went across by down. So the final answer here, we can just figure that out pretty easily. We have negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. And then the second entry is negative 4 plus 4, which is 0. That is our final answer. So let's look now at squaring a matrix. Well, we know that whenever you square something, you multiply it by itself. So that's what I'm going to do here. So you can really only square a square matrix. So what we're doing is multiplying a 2 by 2 matrix by itself. So the resulting matrix will be 2 by 2. So it is going to have an entry here, here, here and here. I suggest drawing up the resulting matrix first. So how do we get all of these entries? We go across by down. The entry in row 1, column 1, row 1 by column 1. -5 by -5 is 25, plus 3 times 6 is equal to 43. The entry here, this is row 1, column 2. Row 1 by column 2, -5 times 3 plus 3 times 4. -15 plus 12 gives you -3. What about this entry? This is row 2, column 1. Row 2 by column 1. 6 by -5 plus 4 times 6. -30 plus 24 is -6. Last entry, row 2, column 2. Row 2 by column 2. It's always across by down. 6 times 3 plus 4 times 4. 18 plus 16 gives you 34, and then we're done. All right, let's now look at doing another example of matrix multiplication. So let's multiply together these two matrices. So the first matrix 2 by 3, the second matrix is 3 by 2. We can perform this product because these two numbers are equal. The resulting matrix will be 2 by 2. So let's draw up our resulting matrix. So the entry here in row 1, column 1, row 1 by column 1. 1 by 1 plus 2 by 0 plus 3 times 4. The entry that goes in row 1, column 2. Row 1 by column 2, across by down. 1 times 5 plus 2 times -3 plus 3 times -2. The entry that goes in row 2, column 1. Row 2 by column 1. 0 times 1 plus 1 times 0 plus 2 times 4. The entry that goes in row 2, column 2, across by down. Row 2 by column 2. 0 times 5 plus 1 times -3 plus 2 times -2. So we can easily figure out these numbers now. Very simple calculations. We get 13, -7, 8, -7, and we're done. All right, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.